All right. Hey guys, welcome back to the Underground. This is Interactive Chat, volume 67. Let's go. Our weekly Solo Man podcast where we talk about everything: news, reviews, announcements, trailers, new game releases, updates, PC support, accessories, all the things PSVR2 related. What is up, guys? So good to see you again. It's been so long, right? It's been one day. But this is, of course, our interactive chat where I like to interact with you guys and say what is up to Mark Smith, Melchiah, the soul-reaving game cat, Raziel, Looper, the Underground Game Cat Elite Name Squad in the house, Salvador, what is up, my peeps, Underground Game Cat, oh, yeah, let's go, baby. We got a lot to talk about today, you guys. A new game released today, which I'm going to be giving my first impressions. It just dropped today. I just got the first chance to play it. That's kind of why the show is delayed a little bit. So thank you for your patience. Apologies for having to wait. A couple new announcements for some games. There's a game coming out I think later this month. Shoot, I really should have double checked that when that's coming. I'll find out. That's okay. We can just quickly resort to Twitter's. But yeah, man, a bunch of new stuff going on here to talk about today. So let's go ahead and get into it. Before we get into the games, the accessories, the new trailers, the updates and things, I want to bring up because PlayStation just released their top 10 downloads of April. And want to go ahead and break these down real quick. What up, Alhembre, Rob Axel, Blue Jew, the Game Cat Adjacent. That is kind of a mouthful, excuse me. But guys, before we get started, real quick, wanna give some. Let me bring this down because I gotta give the respect it deserves. Shout out to all you here today, tuning in live, as well as all these lovely people down here that support me on Patreon. Patreon.com/PSVR Underground. I was actually looking at my Patreon lately and I was like, oh, like I actually have been doing, if you know, even though the channel, I haven't been doing like tons and tons of stuff posting, I have been taking a little bit of like, just a little bit easy here, sticking with this show, of course, because this is a really, really important one to me. But if you've been wondering where like additional stuff is, like, yeah, I've been really posting a lot on Patreon lately. The last thing I posted on there was my full jump scare compilation for Madison VR. It's 3.5 minutes of me going and crapping myself. I also had my review for it. There was like a bunch of other stuff going on there. So shout out to all you Patreon people. I hope you're liking the stuff on there. Trying to post it as much as possible. Also, shout out to VR-rock.com. Quick little update on that. I've ordered some PSVR1 lenses because I want to jump back into PSVR1 a little bit soon. I've been itching for it. When I get the free time, might check out some Wipeout, some Farpoint, some Skyrim. I love my PSVR1. I did the entire way through. It's the whole reason I like VR. But I mentioned last week that I reached out to them about, is there a possible solution for Mura? And they said they did look into it. They weren't able to come up with a good solution yet. I don't know if they're going to continue trying, but they did actually experiment with this where the only solution they found was something that almost had like a sunglasses effect and it just darkened the screen too much is what they said. So they kind of abandoned that. But hopefully they can maybe explore some other things. But in the meantime, I still highly recommend you get lenses, not only for viewing the games better. I mean, for me, it was like a absolute game changer, but also just for like the protective purposes of the lenses. I think, I see so many pictures of people showing wear on their lenses. Probably a little bit of a design flaw with the PSVR2. So protect them from scratches, from that stuff wearing off. And yeah, man, last thing I got to plug here. Sorry, I know I was about to get into the top 10 and kind of backtracked a little bit. Last thing, Podcast services, in case you missed the community post, podcast services have been restored. Thank you for your patience on that. So if you're wanting to listen on Spotify while you're racing in Gran Turismo 7, oh my God, Gran Turismo 7, you guys. So flippin' good. Why is Gran Turismo 7 so good? I talked about it a little bit yesterday on Gamescast. Yeah, Gran Turismo 7 is just amazing. All these updates, they just add, like, it seems like just a car here and there or whatever. But man, those cars are amazing to get in and get immersed and race in. Cannot recommend Gran Turismo 7 enough. It is easily one of the best, if not the best game on PSVR2. But yeah, podcast services are back up and running. There's a link on my community page, and shout out to all you listening while you're playing No Man's Sky or Gran Turismo or whatever it is you want to be playing. Good to see each and every one of you. Okay, so now let's go ahead and get to everything that's been going on. The top 10 downloads of April have been released. And we got a couple new faces, a couple old faces here. Actually, most of them are just old faces. But at number 10, we have Horizon Call of the Mountain. And I know here comes the time. Close your ears. If you're a huge fan of Call of the Mountain, close your ears, because this is my once in a week dig at that game. No, Horizon's okay. It does some nice things, but it was on sale for, I think, a decent price. I think it was like $40. I'd still want like the 30 price range for a climbing game, but it is beautiful. It does have great graphics, things like that. So nice of that to get love. And this does not include somebody's like revving a motorcycle out there. I don't know if you guys heard that. This does not include Horizon that was purchased with the PlayStation VR2. So that's separate downloads. Next, we got Job Simulator. That's okay. That's always a really popular game because people that are new to VR, that's just one that they know and they jump into first as they ease into the VR scene. Next, it's so good to see an old friend here, Crossfire Sierra Squad, back on the top 10 at number 7. I absolutely love this game. I cannot recommend it enough. I think it's an amazing shooter. When put on the most challenging difficulty and with, especially with co-op and stuff, but it is a high quality game. I've said it over and over. It's the closest thing to like a AAA game or a Call of Duty game that we have, which I'm not like the biggest fan of Call of Duty and stuff, but they're fun. The gunplay is really good. They added manual reloading, all that stuff. So great to see that. At number 6, we have Release the Kraken Swordsman VR. Like I said, man, this game needs no introduction because it is literally not left the top 10 in quite some time. It's really popular with either the younger audience or people that have way more energy than I do. It is an awesome arena combat game, but it is an arena combat game. I'm looking forward to their next title, whatever that may be, because I think it's going to be really good. Something Game Cat adjacent in the house tonight. What's up, man? Did you get your issue fixed? I remember last time we were talking about like your HDMI, your port, your Type C port or something broke. Did you ever get that figured out? I was thinking about that a little bit after. Anyways, next at number 5, we've got Synapse, which was also on sale as well. Now, I've gone on the record about this game or given my review over and over. It's really a great like core gameplay game. The telekinesis has to be experienced. It's amazing to me, this game has David Hayter in it, which is super cool. Also, shout out to Jennifer Hale. But I love that this is voiced by David Hayter, which is really cool. This game just has to be experienced for the telekinesis, the atmosphere. It's not a big game. It's pretty short. It's only got 4 enemy types in it. There's not like a really grandiose story. And it was, ultimately fell a little short. but what's there is really good and really high quality. It's a quality over quantity game. Yeah, dope to see that. Great game. Pavlov at number, oh wait, no, maybe this is number 5. Hold on, I can't count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pavlov, that was number 6. At number 5, we have Pavlov, which is easily, I think, the best shooter, multiplayer shooter in particular, on PSVR2. Just got that recent update, which is awesome. Those new maps are super, super good. Very Call of Duty style maps and stuff. But Pavlov is amazing. It absolutely crushed it. Has been crushing it. And I think, when Firewall kind of screwed up really bad, I'm really glad that Pavlov and Crossfire were there to kind of save the day in Firewall's absence. Although I would like to revisit Firewall at some point because it was getting updated and I was getting ready to jump back in, and then they closed down because they fucked up. But anyways, next we've got Arizona Sunshine 2, which is interesting to see because it's a pretty expensive game. And I've also said many times, Arizona Sunshine 2, I think it's a good game. Like, I think it has some really cool cinematic moments, stuff that I try not to spoil, but really, to really understand, I would have to spoil it. But there's just some really cool set pieces, some exciting moments, and I actually really liked it. That being said, it is just like a 4-hour, 5-hour game, and then it's kind of done. It does have some additional modes and whatnot, but I didn't really have any interest in that. I just liked playing the main campaign. Really, I'm much more of a solo player. Prentice Summer Scales says, just finished the Crossfire campaign yesterday. It was such a robust single player first person shooter. Now for multiplayer. Did that include? So Crossfire is a big game, man. It's got the single player campaign. But then, like, if you play the squad mode, that is like a 20-hour game in itself, and it can be played by yourself. Raul, your AI partner, sucks. But if you can get somebody else, it'd be much better. But it's still better than nothing. He's kind of just like a cannon fodder target for you. He kind of can take some of the attention away sometimes, but what up, Genesec? While Liv says, I look like I need some sleep, AJ. I took a nap earlier. I took a power nap. I wouldn't be lying if I didn't say I wasn't exhausted, though. All the time. Coffee. Sergeant Frosty says, Synapse, I finally played for the first time recently, and I absolutely love it. One of the best VR games ever. Yeah. It's not a deep game. It's not a deep and varied game, but it is really good for what's there. Also, what up, Liv? Good to see you, homie. Let's see here. Youpie says, hello, my friend is a super PSVR hero. No, stop it. Very excited for my VR. You are my inspiration. Congratulations. Hugs from your eternal fan, Oopie. Victoria, always. Dude, your energy is through the roof. I love it. You might be the only person with more energy than me, but I like your style, Youpie. Thank you. And thank you for the kind words. Much love back to you, homie. Speaking of much love, Dead Ringer, the game cat, getting that tip train, keeping it going. Appreciate you, man. Says the only place to spend Thursday. Yes. Tune in every Thursday, 6:30 to 7:30 is the window. I don't put a set timer on that because, like today, sometimes I need time to play a game that just came out and want to get some first impressions. So, let us continue. What up, Bad Robo? Robert the Game Cat Mods, Trusty Mods in the house tonight. Awesome Tatum. Speaking of Crossfire, my dude, we need to get back in that at some point and finish it. Among Us VR came in at number 3. Not super surprising. It's a very popular game, and it's okay. It's a good social game. I guess there's not many social games on PSVR2, so it's probably one of the things that's keeping it going. At number 2, we have Beat Saber, which was for the longest time the king of the top 10 charts on PSVR. And again, you know, Beat Saber is a great game, I think, to start with. I always recommend Beat Saber as a great game to start out VR with, because it's easy to, it doesn't give you motion sickness or whatever, and it's an easy concept. It's got lightsabers. But speaking of lightsabers, or lack thereof mostly, the number one most downloaded game, of course, as expected, was Star Wars Tales from the Galaxy's Edge Enhanced Edition. This, of course, was due to it being on the May savings sale. It was like, it's actually, I think today is the last day, possibly. It might be over now. If not, then today is the last day to grab this. So if you haven't yet, and it's still on sale, absolutely grab this before it's too late. It's like $13. It's really good for $13. You know, I've said before, like when it came out at like $50 or whatever, like I was like, no. But it's an okay game, especially if you just need like a solid Star Wars experience, shooter, whatever. It's decent. Especially if you're a big Star Wars fan, then it's definitely a must. But yeah, man. So that is the top 10 most downloaded games of April. Congrats, Star Wars. I saw Dead Ringer earlier saying he was saddened by the lack of Legendary Tales or Cube or something. But here's the thing, man. If you actually go to the store right now, Legendary Tales is right back up there again. So I think people were just taking advantage of the sale. Legendary Tales is going to be around for a while and keep being a big success story pretty much until a bigger and better RPG comes out, and that's going to be a long time. It's the best RPG on PSVR2 by far, off the top of my head anyways. One of the best RPGs I think of all time on VR. It's so good, and I'm not done with that game yet either. That's what I love about it. I love big deep games. Also Madison VR, man. Shout out to Madison for also being on the top. It's currently sitting in the number one spot, which is surprising to me. As a horrifying game, like super scary, I did not think, like, you know, I think Madison, I expected it to get the good critical reception that it got. But I was not expecting Madison to also get the sales to come along with it, because I've always felt like people like horror games, but a lot of people are too scared to play them. And that game is like one of the scariest games of all time. So awesome to see Madison. It's behind, like, of course, like Gran Turismo, Resident Evil, but it's currently sitting as the number one above Beat Saber for the top downloaded game of May so far. So that's really cool to see. Congrats to them on their success, because yeah, Madison was awesome. Highly recommend it. All right, guys, so a couple things to get to here real quick. Yesterday I'm gonna, because of Gamescast being on Wednesdays and this being on Thursdays, I'm gonna try to keep the conversations separate. You know, we talked about a couple things. However, I do want to talk about Stride Fates for one little reason here, because yesterday we shared some additional details on the game, but we actually missed some huge important pieces of those details so I wanted to just share what we missed yesterday on Gamescast regarding Stride Fates. We talked about the game is going to be $29.99. It's coming out this next week, May 16th. We talked about it having some DLC. There's 2 DLC, and we didn't say what the DLC was, or we didn't say whether the second one was going to be free. Well, those answers are all in the press emails here. So let me clarify a little bit. It's coming to PSVR2. It's supposedly the enhanced edition from the Quest version. It's coming to PSVR2 and Steam. There's 2 free DLC coming. One is going to be there at launch. The first free DLC is going to continue the storyline. And then let's see here. It says featuring new levels to continue the storyline. And it looks like DLC 2, which is going to be coming in like 2.5 months from now, is a major open world area with quests and free traversal and fun features like a paraglider. Now you can fly too, is what it says. How did we miss these details yesterday? The first DLC is just, it's gonna be there at launch. It's gonna just be additional storyline. The second DLC I was completely unaware of is an open world thing, open world section with quests, and has a paraglider in it, so you can fly around. Well, that just got a little bit interesting, guys. That definitely just got a little bit interesting. Looking forward to playing this and reviewing it next week. Haven't had a chance to really check it out just yet, and even if I did, I couldn't say anything. But the embargo lifts next week, so we'll be able to talk about it, and hopefully it goes well, because I love the first game. I love parkour in VR, and I would love to see this do well. So, but had to clarify on some of those details we missed yesterday, because those are kind of important. Let's see here. All right, guys. We have a new game announced that is coming very, very soon. This is one where I wasn't sure. Okay, it is coming this month. I've got a date for this. Now, this is an interesting game. This is a game that is completely hand painted in VR and designed. The developers have said that this game has like 2.5 million brushstrokes in it or whatever. This game is, of course, called Retropolis. Never say tomorrow. What is it? Never say goodbye. I don't know much about this, but this game actually kind of has my attention. I love my big games, my big, huge games with deep gameplay mechanics, things like that. But this one has my attention for a couple different reasons. It is like a post-apocalyptic, futuristic noir setting, like retro noir setting, that looks like it's kind of like a detective story. You play as looks like as a detective. You can see here all this stuff here, all these animated things are all handcrafted, hand painted in VR. And it's obviously story driven, and it's mostly a puzzle game. This one really, really has my attention, because I feel like I could totally use. I didn't look at the gameplay, but I saw that there was like a walkthrough on YouTube, and the full gameplay walkthrough was like 2.5 hours. So that's probably by somebody that knows what they're doing, I'd imagine. So you're going to get at least 2.5 hours out of this, it seems, if not more. That's pretty damn cool. But this game comes out May 24th, and definitely has my attention, as like I am interested to get into it. There's just not a lot of times where we get like a good creative game, and I love the creativity here. That's what I think I'm mostly excited about. Just a chance, if assuming this is good, the chance to play like a new, just really unique, creative kind of oddball title. That's actually really exciting to me. Let's take a quick look at some of the info on the Steam page, because they can probably describe their game better than I can. And they say, the Retropolis series is a user-friendly VR experience built from the ground up to support effortless VR interaction. Using Philip Logg's extendo arms, the player is able to collect items from afar, use them to overcome obstacles, and move the plot forward. On top of the first game's mechanics, Retropolis 2 Never Say Goodbye features enchanted logic puzzles, new rotation mechanics, and movement between different environments, offering a more challenging adventure with a substantially longer playtime. Even though it's set in a post-apocalyptic cityscape inhabited by only robots, all 3D assets in Retropolis 2 Never Say Goodbye were hand-painted by living and breathing human beings, making each environment a stunningly detailed piece of art. With improved graphics and character animation, returning to Retropolis is more jaw-dropping than ever. Immerse yourself in the vibrant atmosphere of the city and search for hidden jokes. I like that. Retropolis 2 Never Say Goodbye was written and directed with the belief that VR games will be the basis of entertainment in the 21st century. We will see no difference between cinema, anime, and gaming. Our mission is to blend all of them together and shape the future of narrative-driven games. So, well put by them, as expected. Could definitely describe it better than I could. But just a really cool, unique, creative, artistic game. Puzzles be damned. I don't really care. Like, if it's really like just a cool, if I'm digging the vibe of the game and everything, then I definitely will enjoy just an artistic kind of piece like this. So, a good narrative driven experience. I think somebody said they played this. Looper said, I played it on PC. It's good if you like puzzle games. No comment. But yeah, man, May 24th, looking forward to this. I haven't played something just artistic and creative in a while, so I'm in the mood, If a game like this came out after I just played like 5 other puzzle games, I'd be like, hell no. But it's perfect timing, because right now there's not a whole bunch of crazy things going on, and it's perfect timing to check out a game like this. Nihilist Ryan, my metal feline friend, can't wait for Hellsinger, brother, says, know what would be cooler than Stride in VR? Would be Strider in VR. Retro acrobatic joy. I agree. Strider was always kind of a little overrated in my opinion, though. It was like a cool looking game, but I don't know. It was so basic. I'm sorry, that probably cut you deep. I'm sorry, my friend. I'm sorry. Anyways. All right, so moving on, guys. We have an exciting announcement here. So this is something that has been mentioned before, but some of that has changed. There is a rather significant accessory that is going to be supported by PSVR2 very soon. A lot of you, we've had this conversation years ago, for years now. A lot of you have asked us when we were on Gamescast or here or wherever. You said, what will there be an aim controller for PSVR2, or what accessories? This is how there's not going to be an aim. I'm just going to go ahead and say that right now. There's not an aim controller, but this is how the conversation came up and how it was mentioned before. A lot of people talked about like what accessories do you expect for PSVR2? Do you think there'll be an aim controller? Is what I got asked a bunch. And everybody asked me because they know I love the aim controller. But I always talked about if there was going to be an accessory. First of all, we do have some good accessories like the racing rig, like the HOTUS. Hope to see more games support that. Because historically I love accessories, and I won't beat around the bush anymore. People talked about like what accessories do you think will come to PSVR2? Like what are the next VR common kind of accessories you'll see? I've always talked about haptics and like maybe haptic vest, haptic suits. Well, we now have official word that Breachers is getting B-haptics support. I only have a Quest trailer here, unfortunately, but B-haptics has become officially announced for PlayStation VR 2. But while not saying too much more, it's not just going to stop with Breachers. B-haptics, which they make haptic vests, where basically, for those who don't know, if you get like shot in a game, like you actually get like haptic feedback on your chest and stuff. I've never really messed with anything like this before. I've always been curious about it. But Breachers will be, from what I know, like that's been the first game that's been announced about it. Breachers, but there are other games that will be getting B-haptics support as well. And I have something to show you guys. We will be covering B-haptics on the channel with the PSVR2 games because I have received a B-haptics vest as well as something I didn't know existed, B-haptics armbands. Guys, PSVR2 is getting legit B-haptics support. Now, this is the thing. I mean, the only game we know about so far is Breachers. I'm not going to say what, there is another game that I'm aware of, but I'm not going to say what it is just yet. But this is a whole new avenue for me, man. Like I've never explored like stuff like this. You know, I've never been crazy about like the, you know, I like the racing wheel, I like the aim controller, I like the HOTUS, the flight stick. But I've never tried anything like this before. So this is going to be really new for me. And you guys know how much I love haptics, adaptive triggers, headset rumble. I think this is potentially going to be a really good fit for PSVR2. And of course, you know, we've seen accessories before that have come out. This thing is basically its success, I think, or what we are going to measure as success is going to be like how much support it gets. We already know about Breachers. I'm not going to spoil what the other one is, but let me just tell you, the other game that's getting B-haptic support is a big one. Like it is a huge deal to me, near and dear to my heart. And they were actually part of the people that helped me obtain the suit. So, you know, I'm looking forward to trying this out with Breachers, but I'm really looking forward to trying it out with the other game that's coming. And I hope to see many more games get B-haptic support. So, yeah, man, that is some heavy duty hardware right there. But I'm really excited about that, and getting official PSVR2 support. That's pretty cool for you know, the enthusiasts like us that really just will invest anything for the most crazy experiences or whatever. But yeah, man, so I'm gonna be testing this out, of course, and once I can try it out, I will definitely share you guys my impressions, my review on it. But really big shout out to B-haptics for sending me that, as well as the developer with the upcoming unannounced B-haptics game. That is a huge deal to me, and that's gonna be freaking sweet, man. Cannot wait. Also, Miles, Wes, and Brian have one on the way as well. So all of us will get to share our impressions, and hopefully it's really cool and we love it, and can encourage more games to get support for it. Because again, this thing is going to live or die by how many games are supported with it. But I can tell you, like I said, the next one is a good one. Really good one. But all right, guys. Yep, that is it. One more look at it here. Yeah, this is crazy. These are armbands. I didn't even know these existed, but these are Tactasi for arms. It's haptic sleeves, which is crazy. And then of course one more look at this. The haptic suit or haptic vest itself. I can't see anything. But that is pretty sweet, man. I feel like a kid on Christmas. So can't wait to try it out and talk about it. Breachers will be the first game, and then can't wait to check out the next game. You don't know how many hints I want to give you as to what the other game is, but I just can't. I want to make sure they do the announcement and don't screw anything up. But bHaptics coming to PlayStation VR2. Cannot wait. Can you imagine, guys, if Madison gets support for this? Oh my God. Oh my God. If like Madison, I want to see Madison get support. I want to see Pavlov get support. Hell, like even maybe Gran Turismo or something would be really cool. I don't know how that would work, but there's a lot of different games like the Resident Evil, No Man's Sky. There's a lot of good shit. I'm going to be encouraging lots of developers to add support for it and do that, because yeah, it's not a cheap piece of equipment. So it is definitely damn chat's trying to guess what it is. All right, I said nothing, okay? Nothing. Zip. All I mentioned is that bHaptics is coming to PlayStation VR2. There's this, and then there's another game, and probably other more. I'm not saying anything more. Oh, you guys are crazy. I love you. All right. Anyways. I was waiting for a 3D rudder comment. All right, guys. So, before we get into our impressions of Thief Simulator, I am excited to talk about... No, I'm not excited about this. Let's have some fun with IGN, everybody's #1 resource for PlayStation VR2. These guys, you know, I thought these guys PSVR2s were collecting dust, so I was really surprised to see that they have now announced their top, the best PSVR2 games to play in 2024, and one of them is free. I am so hyped to read through this, you guys. I haven't looked at this yet, so we're gonna kind of go through it together. And we're gonna be the judge here. We're gonna judge IGN because they're down bad right now, and we're just gonna pour some salt on the wounds. Anyways, all right, guys. So let's take a look. What does IGN have to say about PSVR2? Now this looks like 2024. As one of the resident experts, VR experts at IGN, yeah, already making me laugh here. So they put this together. They said the second phase bangers worth buying. Okay, so this is there. It sounds like they're mentioning this as like the second phase bangers worth buying. What does that even mean? Second phase bangers. They can't even like type articles properly. Anyways, the new hotness. Okay, all right. Madison VR is the first game. Okay, we're not gonna read what everything they have to say because I don't give a shit what they say. We're just gonna look at the list. Madison VR, and they're talking about a spotlight on what I'm currently playing and digging, but haven't finished. Okay, that's not bad. Not a bad start here. You know, Madison VR we've talked about is very, very good. So I can dig this. This is a nice pick. Doing really well right now. Best 2024 PSVR shooters. Okay, so they're like, is this like an award show? What is this? It's like awards for categories. Vertigo 2. All right. Another interesting pick. I'm surprised to see them pick this one. They're probably going off of what they played on the PC version and haven't played the PSVR2 version, but that's okay. It's still a good game. I'm just kidding. I actually really, really liked Vertigo 2, so I'm cool with this pick. It's a good shooter. Come to think about it, though, you know, I need something to compare here. Oh God, why are they talking about Rick and Morty? The thing is like I'm trying to think of all the shooters we've gotten this year, and off the top of my head, I'm having a hard time thinking about like a bunch of different shooters. That being said, it is a fantastic shooter. It does have some performance issues, but it's a good one. Oh, interesting pick. Okay. Tiger Blade is an arcade I think it's arcade, like Korean game. I actually did really like this game. It's not the biggest game, but I actually did happen to like this game. Wow, maybe this guy does actually play VR. We'll see. We'll see about that. This is the one guy that they hired off the street that played VR. Okay, so Tiger Blade. Yeah, it is kind of like it is a Korean Time Crisis kind of. I do like that it's like ninjas in Time Crisis, so that's pretty cool. Okay, not bad. Could not too bad. I don't recommend it at full price. It's a little pricey, but on deep sale, I definitely recommend it for like a short arcade game. Not too bad. Okay, guys. Okay, let's take a break here because I'm already kind of surprised. I'm surprised they don't absolutely hate this list just yet, but there's still more. So there's still plenty of time for them to fuck this up. But they're not doing too bad so far. Probably not games I would label as like, I mean, Madison is definitely pretty up there. But overall, you know, I don't know if I'd say like Tiger Blade is like one of the best games. No, definitely not. I wouldn't. But it's a good, solid, okay game. But, you know, you got to get people to click on the article, so you got to call it the best games. Best 2024... this was a launch game. Best 2024 PSVR2 Cockpit Sit-Downs? What the fuck? What are you talking about? What? Best 2024 PSVR2 Cockpit Sit-Down? Seriously, who writes this stuff? Where do they find these people? What kind of category is that? This game is a launch game. What are you talking about? Second phase banger. This is... Okay, wait, hold on. Well, they're talking about it launching in 2022. Not for VR. It came out in 2023 for VR. Oh my God, you guys. Can they get anything right ever? Oh, Jesus. Okay. Anyways, yeah. Gran Turismo, definitely one of the best VR games of all time. Not a second phase banger, and not a best 2024 PSVR2 Cockpit Sit Down. IGN, you are a cockpit sit down. Oh my goodness. You know what? Wait, who said that? DJ Dirty Yella says it's AI. You're absolutely right. It's probably AI. This sounds very AI driven. I mean, that explains everything now. Yeah, this definitely sounds like AI speak. This is not a real human being. Sure as hell isn't somebody that, never mind. All right. Best 2024 PSVR2 Tension Fests. God, these labels, these categories or whatever are so dumb. What is this article called? The best PSVR2 games to play in 20, but then it's like subcategorized. It's more like an award show, but it's very specific awards. Like they're saying this in plural, like Cockpit Sit-Downs, but it's only Gran Turismo 7. Tension Fests, but it's only Propagation. Oh, wait. There's one more. Okay. I stand corrected, sort of. Propagation Paradise Hotel. Yeah. Excellent game. Okay. Digging a little bit deeper here. Bad Rose says AI got them all mixed up. Okay. Propagation Paradise Hotel is a fantastic game. It was actually the scariest game on PSVR2 until Madison came out. And now Madison is like one of the scariest VR games of all time. But Propagation Paradise Hotel, fantastic game. That's pretty good. What do we have next here? Kill It With Fire. Kill It With Fire. You've got to be kidding me. You're gonna put Kill It With Fire next to Propagation Paradise Hotel. Oh my God, you guys. Listen, I don't want to be too hard on the dev because I'm sure, you know, he worked hard on this. But this is like it's like a really low poly, like I don't know. It's not scary. It's not tense at all. Like it's kind of like what the hell is that game name? I don't even know what to say. I have no words for this. Kill It With Fire, I didn't even think was a good game, let alone definitely not a tense game. I guess maybe if you're afraid of rubber spiders. It's oh god. I can't even, you guys. Let's move on here before I have a freaking nervous a stroke here. Anyways, Kill It With Fire, I did not think was a very good game. And it was definitely not tense, and yeah, no, sorry devs, but no. Puzzling Places for best 2024 PSVR2 chill out games. Okay, Puzzling Places is fantastic. It is an excellent game. I think I'd probably put like Walkabout, as a better like chill out game or whatever, but still, I love the Summer Dive DLC. I highly recommend you guys check that out if you haven't yet. Puzzling Places is definitely a great chill out game for sure. Toy Trains. Now this one I can't actually speak on because I have I didn't play this one. I didn't really have any interest in it. But I kind of I'm sensing some doubt here. My spider senses are saying doubt on this one. I don't know. Has anybody in the chat played Toy Trains? Is it one of the best chill out games on PSVR2, or is it a second phase banger? Oh my goodness. Okay, anyways, I don't care. Best 2024 PSVR2 silly shenanigans. You know what? I really hate this list. And it's not because of the games. Like some of the game picks I'm not a fan of. But some of the game picks aren't bad. I really hate what these categories. These are the dumbest fucking categories I've ever seen. And it's no surprise really. But silly shenanigans, they have Border Bots VR, a pretty genius peanut butter and chocolate smashed together of Papers, Please and Job Simulator. Papers, Please and Job Simulator. Okay. They're just describing the game. Border Bots VR. Yeah, it was okay. It was better than I thought it was going to be, which I thought was going to be crap. But it's so not interesting. Like there's nothing interesting about Border Bots. It's literally taking the job sim like mechanics and making and stealing the idea that Papers, Please was and did it. So it's completely unoriginal. It was better, to its credit. It was better than I was expecting. But I don't know. Nothing to write home about. I wouldn't really recommend it. And Epic Roller Coasters. Okay, this is the free. Well, that's sort of true. It's free. It's free to play, yes, but it also has all the best stuff on it you have to pay for. So the game is free to download, yes, and try one or two levels, but the only good stuff about it really is paid DLC. So, oh lordy. Anyways, okay. Let's continue here. Let's see here. And by the way, even the DLC that you have to pay for is hit or miss. It's all just a trap. It is kind of cool for being free. Yes. The base game or whatever, there is one or two good tracks on it. But the way they have the DLC is you pay $10 for the DLC and it has one good track and the rest are shit. So it's not worth it in my opinion. Unless you can buy the tracks individually, maybe that would be, but I don't know. Best 2024 PSVR2 sizable experiences, again with the dumb categories. No Man's Sky. Okay. No Man's Sky is, one of my favorite games of all time. I still don't understand the whole second phase banger remark. I thought this was a focus. I'm so confused. It's like they're trying to fit in I don't even know. It's like they're trying to fit in 2024 games, but half of these, more than half of the majority of these are like not from 2024. So IGN lost and confused as usual. It's all right, guys. Dust yourself off. You'll get there one day. Oh, I miss it. When IGN had talented people, talented and likable people. Those were the days. Now they've all left and moved on to have their own successful careers. And now we're just left with the people that are still there. Anyways, No Man's Sky, yeah, absolutely amazing game. Good stuff. Lastly, it looks like we have the best wish fulfillment games. These are the worst categories I've ever seen. These are awards. These are awards or accolades. This is not how you. I can't even, you guys. I can't even. And it's fucking Ghostbusters: Rise of the Ghost Lord. No. Ghostbusters. Listen. Ghostbusters is like one of the biggest disappointments on PSVR2. Like, it was such a disappointment. I mean, you literally you had it. Like you had the Ghostbusters IP and the license. I love End Dreams. Like, don't get me wrong. They make great games, but Ghostbusters Rise of the Ghost Lord reeks of corporate, like, kind of like corporate meetings. Like, we need to have this, we need to gear towards kids, we need to have this game geared towards kids, even though VR devices are meant for people not below the age of 12 or something. It's a baby game, and it's not very good. It's not very fun or engaging. It's maybe fun for about like the first 30 minutes or so. But man, like, imagine like if they actually did a legit Ghostbusters game, like that would have set the world on fire. That would have made people go out and buy headsets. This wasn't it, man. This like, I love the Ghostbusters franchise. Well, at least the first movie, but yeah, man. No, now they just don't know what they're doing. So I can't believe he called this a wish fulfillment. I cannot believe you would call this a wish. If anything, it left me like even more desire to play an actual Ghostbusters game. But that's okay, because eventually, sooner or later, we should get like Phasmophobia, and I'm hoping that's like my Ghostbusters for adults experience. You can keep your baby game so let me say, wrapping up on the article, first of all, title is misleading. I thought it was going to just be like a top best PSVR2 games list. Title's misleading. It's all divided in these stupid categories that are oddly specific. It's like, what was it called? A cockpit, what? Cockpit sit-downs. Who the fuck? Whose idea was that? That's so bad. Okay, there were some good games on the list though. But Cockpit Simulator or Sit Down. I can't even, you guys. I can't even. Dumb list, dumb website. Burn in hell. Oh, anyways, guys. So now it is time to move on to the main topic of this evening. And that is, of course, Thief Simulator, which came out today. And the reason for the delay of the show was that I wanted to jump in and talk about this, because I've been kind of interested in this game. And so I've only played this for about 20 minutes or so. It was like more like 30 minutes. I only completed like the first 2 levels, did a little bit of other stuff in it. So there's a couple things to touch on here. First and foremost, this game seems like one of those, it's really bad, it's good kind of games. It's a crazy concept. I mean, it is, as described, an actual like kind of like you're going around, you're breaking into houses, you're doing lots of illegal activities and like robbing people. It makes you feel pretty terrible. Like it makes, as somebody that, you know, tries to live an honest life, I don't steal, you know, I don't cheat. I don't do a lot of these things. It definitely was kind of interesting being forced to kind of do these things. And you know, sneaking around, like peeking into a window where there's like people in there, it kind of gives me like the creeps a little bit. But it's interesting, you know, it's at the end of the day, it is designed to just be like a fun game or whatever. But the VR interactions and whatnot are actually semi decent. There is some gameplay jank here, for sure, where the physics can get a little bit wonky, but at least on paper, like it's pretty okay design. You got things like, you know, the little objects you can interact with. You've got your crowbar on your belt that you can use to break open like weakened gates, break open windows. But there's like some thought to this. Like you break a window and then you actually like pull up on the window and then you grab it and you pull and climb through. There's some decent actual like ideas in this, and if it's not a Cockpit sit down, I don't buy it. But yeah, and so like, you know, this is just the very first level itself. It's a little dark here. There's basically a guy telling you to go into this house and I forgot what it was. It was like steal. I think you're like supposed to find valuables. And so you're going around and you can pick up an item and it'll tell you if it's valuable or not, or if it's like worthless. And I actually like the gameplay like mechanics here. At times, like I said, it does get a little bit janky, but they do have kind of like some decent stuff on paper here. And it is also mixed with stealth. You have to not get caught. If you do get caught, it kind of just resets you back. But you are graded by how well you accomplish these missions, or these little things that you have to do. And if you get caught, like it will count against your score. There's like other things that can happen too that will count against your score. Or if you execute everything without getting caught, without getting seen, things like that, it will make your score go up. The footage looks really black right now. Hopefully I get to somewhere where there's a little bit more light. It looks really, really dark right now. And actually, speaking of which, like graphically, you know, it's very simple, like graphic stuff. It looks like a lot of like Unity asset stuff. It's not the low poly kill it with fire kind of low poly stuff. It's just like, you know, cheap assets that were kind of used to build this game. And it's all pretty clear actually, which is nice. The game itself does have a nice resolution. It being so dark, I did notice like some of the Mura effect or whatever, especially in some darker areas. Here you can see kind of like a broom or something kind of wigging out a little bit. But overall, I actually think it looks okay. Like it doesn't look amazing, but it doesn't look bad either. It's not blurry. It looks sharp and crisp. But again, it's like some of the textures and stuff look kind of low quality, kind of cheap. But I thought it was kind of cool, like going around through this house at night. You know, you've got this flashlight that you can like attach to your head or whatever. And you're looking for basically like different loot to steal. And then once you finish, you take it back to your garage that you stay at, which is like basically your central hub. And then you can like sell stuff, pawn stuff. Somebody was saying, is it story driven? It's I don't really know if there's like an all-encompassing story here just yet. Oh, here I'm finding some shoes and I'm seeing like that they're worth a little bit of money. And I'm like looting, you know, this bookshelf. There's not really so much like story, but it's kind of like quest. Like it's kind of structured sort of how like a Grand Theft Auto or something is structured, where you have like your kind of like, I don't know if that's the best example, but you have like your kind of like hub where there's a guy on the radio saying, "Hey Johnny, go steal from this thing," or "Go do this." Kind of gives you like different tasks to do, and then you have to go do this task. Now this is the surprise part here. So I just looted this house and now it says get to the car. This has been the biggest surprise here so far, was that you get in the car and then, much to my surprise, you can actually drive. Like, you can actually drive around, and there's a GPS map to tell you where to go. And this is something that occurs a lot in this game. Like, it's actually like, it's not open world, you know, but it's actually like a big open area, and there's roads, and you can like drive onto the you can like drive into the grass or run over stuff, and this was like a huge surprise to me. I was not expecting this. I was not expecting you to be able to like drive in like a big open world kind of thing. Again, not really open world, but it's just like a little open section. And the driving actually is like again, like feeling wise, like it's not bad. You can put it into drive, you can put it into reverse, you can turn the car on, you open, like there are little VR AF mechanics here and there, where you can like open the handle and get out of the car. Some objects are too big for you, so you do have like a backpack, and they've got like the Saints and Sinners style backpack, and you can take it off and put objects in there. But if something's too big, then you actually like lug the big object around, open up your trunk and throw it in the trunk. It's mad vegan. It's not all at night, actually. There are daytime and nighttime, and even though in the footage here you can't see the daytime or the nighttime very well, you can see it a lot better in the headset, of course. Here on the screen, unfortunately, when it showed it in some parts, it's like pitch black. This is the kind of central hub. You've got this TV screen here. That's where you get like, there's like all sorts of stuff here you can do. This is kind of where you accept like quests. There's like a store that you can buy stuff. You can actually pay for like hints as to like tips to break into certain areas. That's pretty cool. There's some actually pretty decent, like well thought out, well designed things here. There's a stash that you can drop off items at. There's a lot of good ideas that went into this, and like gameplay wise, it's actually pretty technically sound. There are some things, like I said, some little jank here and there, but I do like the little touches. There is haptics, there's headset rumble. I like that, like, you know, you can grab handles and you press the trigger and it twists them and then you open them. It's kind of some really cool ideas, and it's something that I think would actually be pretty fun to stream. Like, again, this is like conceptually, I feel like the game is like one of those it's so bad it's good games, or it's kind of like silly. But it seems to have, again, just only played the first 2 levels so far, but it seems to have actually some like some nice like content in it. But yeah, you're a scumbag, basically. You're a scumbag just taking like job after job of selling stuff. Here's a pawn shop that you can go to. Now, like I said, that's where it's not completely like open world. You do have these kind of like hubs that you drive to, but some of these hub areas or whatever that you fast travel to, you can like drive around from there. They wanted me to sell some stuff at the pawn shop, so I came back to my stash, got my stash, and then I'm gonna sell some stuff. But yeah, definitely pretty surprised by some of the things here in this game. And despite it making me feel like a scumbag for playing it, I was actually liking it. But there is one big problem. There is one big problem. This game has some kind of weird performance issue. I saw Brian post on Twitter earlier that this game, he was like saying, I'm shocked that this game got through certification because it's giving him motion sickness. Now, I was like, now Dead Ringer, who's here in the chat, and shout out to Dead Ringer Juniors, was asking me, or have you played this yet or whatever. I said I'm going to check it out. Look at this though. This is still really cool. This this open world kind of like, or not like open area driving, I should say, freedom, like free driving. That is pretty freaking sweet. The big problem here, guys, is that there is something weird about the performance. And let me tell you, I do not get motion sickness at all. At all. Like ever. It really has to be something really bad for me to get motion sickness. And unfortunately, like I was feeling something here. Like I was actually, up until before the show, I'm still actually kind of feeling a little like, I don't get motion sick like everyone else. But I will feel a little discomfort and I will feel a little bit like nauseous afterward. And that's how I actually feel like right now. Which is weird because it's not like this, like visually it doesn't seem like it's really having these horrible performance issues. Like there is some visual judder, visual jank here and there. But typically that does not bother me. There's something about this game. Maybe it's the driving around, or there's something about it, the aesthetic, that it does actually induce motion sickness for people. So unfortunately, guys, while this game actually did surprise me in many ways, if you have like a problem, if you don't have, like I've got steel VR legs. This game has some kind of weird performance issue though that is going to really get some people sick. I don't know what it is. It might just be the little bit of like frame judder, or maybe there's something going on. But it's really unfortunate because I was actually having some good fun with this game. Like it kind of reminds me of just like some of these like trashy games that, like I said, are so bad they're good. Like it has a lot of those qualities to it, where it's like you're doing something really bad, like you're doing something really bad, but it's kind of still fun to do. Like you're robbing houses, you're doing all this stuff, and it seems like it's going to progress. But yeah, man, this is not your typical like issue though, where it's like, if you don't have your VR legs, you're going to get sick. This is one where it's like, even if you have your VR legs, like you're going to probably feel kind of sick here. Like, I don't know what it is. But they need to like reassess it, because like there's actually a decent game here, but there's a major technical flaw that's causing some problem here. So word of caution, man. I hope to see some kind of patch. Maybe they can increase the frame rate or do something. Maybe increasing the frame rate would help. They may have to dumb down the graphics a little bit or something, which would be a shame because it's not that like it's not like an amazing looking game, but it's nice and sharp and clear and crisp, and I'd like it to remain that way. But there's some really big issue here that's causing a problem. And it's not super apparent, but it is happening. So, it's unfortunate, but I'm gonna give it another shot probably, because I was enjoying this. Like here I am like breaking into a house. You can see I'm lifting up the window, grabbing the thing, walking through. Like it's got good mechanics here. I was to steal the TV. The TV was worth something, and I couldn't put it into my bag, so I had to like lug it out the window and everything. But this was this is kind of like a weird kind of fantasy to have is with this game. Yeah, I would if you suffer from motion sickness easily or something, or don't have your VR legs, like this game's gonna fucking kill you. Even if you have your VR legs, it's gonna make you feel a little bit nauseous. So they need to look into it. But yeah, that being said, if they can figure that out, like I could definitely see myself having a lot of fun with this game, because I like the design of it. I like the concept of it, and was having fun with it. So, Satan's neighbor said, just bought this game this morning. I never get motion sickness either, so we'll see. Dude, I don't get motion sickness for anything. anything. And again, motion sickness for me is less, it's less than other people most of the time. Like, even if at worst, I like maybe feel a little uncomfortable, maybe get like feel a little iffy for a little bit, but that's it. Like, I don't get knocked out for like days like some people, or get seriously ill. I'm very fortunate for that. But yeah, this, Steve Irie says, yes, I dry my money on the radiator too. Over there says, I think it's the stark dark light contrast that's causing nausea. Yeah, I don't know what it is, man, but it's something. I think I definitely felt it more in the car, and I think it's because there was some like frame rate stutters. I think if they can smooth out the frame rate, it might help. But Distracted says, does this game have co-op? That's a good question. I don't actually know, because I've only gotten my first impressions of it. I don't actually know if it's got multiplayer. What it does seem like, though, is that it does have like a pretty full campaign to it. The first 2-3 missions I had, first one was like, just stealing valuables, kind of grasping the concept of it. Next was stealing this TV, where I'm throwing it in the back of the car and then driving away. Next was like learning lock picking. So there is like a progression system to it. There is like, it does seem like it gets deeper and deeper, and kind of progresses through this whole campaign. I was really impressed that there was like open area driving, though. That is very, very impressive and surprising. But right now, I don't know, man. You may want to hold off to see if it gets some kind of update, if they can address the issue. It looks like, I looked at the Steam reviews, and the Steam reviews were kind of saying the same thing, that like that has a performance issues, that there's like a motion sickness problems. So again, most games don't have this issue, so it's really strange. There's something unique to this game that causes it. So I have no idea, but yeah, man, I like the game. I like the structure of it. I was really impressed with some things about it. I think it could be pretty fun. But until they get this ironed out, definitely it's a hold off for now. But I hope they do, because I am going to give it another shot. Maybe it's something that you can kind of get used to, but this is one of those gimmicky kind of games that I actually was enjoying, like more so than like a job simulator or Border Bots or, Kill It With Fire. Like, this is based around a gimmick, but it's like, it's a fun gimmick. Like, you get to do things that you wouldn't do in real life. Like, yeah, like I don't steal, I don't rob people. So it's kind of fun just exploring this kind of like bad side and getting to do this stuff. But yeah, unfortunately, performance issues are plaguing it. But yeah, man, so that is my first impression so far. Probably play some more when I get a chance, and definitely going to let the devs know about it, or I'm sure they may be, checking in here. But anyways, before we get out of here, guys, there's one more thing I want to cover. There are some new games on, well, first of all, there's two things I want to cover. First of all, this lovely little message from Polyarc. They say Moss Book 2 turns 2 this weekend. Over the years, we have been moved by your excitement, joy, and love for the world of Moss and all of its inhabitants. Here is to many, many more ahead of us, or just many more ahead of us. So I thought this was nice. I as you guys know, I'm a huge fan of Moss, and I've been really hoping for like a Moss Book 3, and I just like to see this message. Obviously, this isn't like necessarily a direct hint, but it is cool to see them kind of saying like, hey, like, we're not going anywhere. We still got a lot of stuff to do. So I'm hoping this is implying, and I see my buddy Ali down here saying Book 3, please. Absolutely, man. I need a Book 3 for Moss because Book 2 really left off on a cliffhanger. Excuse me. I talk a lot. I get a dry throat. Book 2 really left me on a cliffhanger, and I was really confused by the ending. But I would love to see a Moss Book 3 to, like, you know, even if it concludes the story. I've loved both games dearly. And I hope to see a third one. So that was cool. But that wasn't actually the last thing I wanted to cover. I was trying to someplace to figure out where to throw that in. Here we have some new games added to the PlayStation sale, the May sale. This says until 5/9, 10 a.m. I don't know. So I guess this sale has ended now. But we're just going to be checking out the new games. Zombie Bar Simulator is $15.99. Wow, that was quick. This game just came out. This is already on sale. I haven't played it yet, so I can't say anything on it. So I don't know. Maybe I'll pick it up for $15.99. I really just need to reach out to the devs. Or Cooking Simulator VR. Also another one I haven't checked out yet, unfortunately. But I will as soon as possible. So I don't know. Pixel Ripped is $13.99 on sale. This is $19.95. I love this game. I think it's really, really cool. If you're a fan of retro games, I think it's worth picking up. You know, $13.99, you know, compared to Star Wars. I mean, Star Wars just seems a little bit higher quality for bigger production values for $13.99. But that being said, I really like Pixel Ripped. I think it's really cool. If you're an experienced gaming vet, then I definitely think you should play it on hard mode if you can to start with. But yeah, not a bad price. Not a go out and you must have it right now, but not a horrible price either. Twilight Zone is $15.99. $14.99 with PlayStation Plus. I am not a fan of this game. I didn't think it was very good. And yeah, they did update it and made it a little bit better, but overall, I did not really care for it. And I think they did some really cool things, some cool technical things, but that being said, it's just not fun. Like it's not a fun game to play. So it's more like cool for more of some of the technical things it does, but that's it. Moss for $14.99. This is new on the sale here. If there's a bundle, get the bundle. You have to get Moss, guys. If you haven't played it, Moss Book 2 is also $14.99. That's also new. Moss is an absolute must play, guys. Absolute must play. Both games are like 9 out of 10. One of the best VR games ever made. One of the best characters. If you care about meaningful, good characters, yes. Jurassic World Aftermath Collection is $10.49, $8.99 with PlayStation Plus. I don't hate that price. Like, that's really cheap, but I hate this game. So I'm going to say no. I think this game was terrible. So hard pass. I don't care if it's $5. What else do we got here? Down and Out is absolute trash. Avoid at all costs. Wouldn't play it if it was free. Here we go. Green Hell VR is $17.99. Guys. Okay, besides Moss, honestly, I think I'm going to have to give Green Hell the golden buzzer here. $17.99 for that game. Like, does the game have its issues? Sure. Oh, Mecha Party? Yeah, no, screw Mecha Party. Demio is definitely a must-have, but I don't think that's new on sale. Let me go back and check. I think Demio was on sale last week. $5.9. Yeah, that is either ending today or ending. Moss 2. Yeah, I already said Moss 1 and Moss 2 absolute must-haves. But Green Hell VR, guys, for $17.99, I would recommend. If you're into like hardcore survival stuff. I enjoyed the game. Like, I think I gave it like a 6.9 out of 10. Nice. I gave it about 6.9, 6.8, something like that. And, you know, everybody like I get that the game wasn't, I'm sure the full game, the PC game or whatever, the flat screen is like much better, much bigger. Yes, it would have been a lot better. But I think Green Hell for what it is, for $17 or whatever, that's not bad. Like, I actually really enjoyed a lot of the survival mechanics. They did patch the graphics, so graphically it looks way better than it did at launch. It's not a blurry mess anymore. They added some DLC to it. Yeah, I mean, again, maybe not like a go out and must have, but if you're curious about, if you're on the fence about Green Hell, like if you're interested in it, looks like something you'd like, I'd say, yeah, go for it. Like that's a good price. Like I really enjoyed the survival mechanics of it, and you know, it has this realistic aesthetic to it that was pretty cool. So there were things I liked about it, and it's supposed to be getting co-op at some point. Hopefully it does, because I could see that being really fun, playing co-op with friends, playing like the survival mode and stuff. Now that's where the Quest port, or the Quest version of the game, hurts, is like something like that. The survival mode would have been really great with the open world. That's what kind of what they screwed up there. The open world of the original game would have been perfect for just a free roam survival experience. That's where the kind of level sections hurt this game the most versus being open world. So, but it has a full length story campaign. I think it took me like 10-15 hours to beat, maybe I think like 15 hours to beat. It's a pretty long game. But yeah. And Distracted, yeah, I would absolutely recommend Song in the Smoke over Green Hell any day. Song in the Smoke, you know, people could say whatever they want about the art style, but that game is freaking awesome. You get to fight raptors in that game, and that game is amazing. Song in the Smoke is just like, I mean, Green Hell is just like, it's kind of average. I'd say it's an average game. The VR version is, anyways. But it's okay. Like I think that's pretty good. I'm not going to give it the golden buzzer, because come to think about it, I do have, like, you know, there are things that irk me about it, which is a shame because it had so much potential. But I will give it a solid recommendation. The golden buzzer is going to belong to Moss Book 1 and 2 here this time. Those are must-haves, must-plays, and magical experiences. But guys, this has been Interactive Chat Volume 67. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight. I hope you enjoyed. Stay tuned later for podcast services to be uploaded. If you're just tuning in now and want to catch that. But hope you guys enjoyed the show. Thank you so much for being here tonight. And yeah, man, got a bunch of random things going on. Of course, want to shout out all of you lovely people that were here tonight. Thank you to everybody who donated and supports the channel. It really does help a lot. Thank you to these lovely, fine people that support me on patreon.com/PSVR Underground. Thank you to the people that go to VR-rock.com and use the promo code AJPSVR. Actually, to be honest with you, like, it's more about the discount that you guys get. I can't wait to get my my PSVR 1 lenses. We'll definitely be revisiting, after I get those, we'll definitely be revisiting some PSVR 1 games, which would be cool. But yeah, man, I hope each and every one of you have a wonderful night. Go buy Madison, go buy Legendary Tales, go buy all the good games. Support developers. Thank you guys so much. Let's get out of here with some Astro and some metal. Let's go. Mad_vegan. Thank you so much. You have a great night as well. Leroy Jenkins says, wait a minute. What about the accessory that you talked about in the title? Yes, I already talked about it. You're going to have to rewind the show a little bit. Grayson, fist bump to you. Bad Robo. Good to see you, homie. PSVR Brazil. Spider. What's up, man? Good to see you, Carlos. DJ Dirty Yella. Let's see here. Distracted. Good to see you. Scott, the PSVR Game Cat for life. Thank you so much, my friend. Appreciate your support as always. Vince Virtua. Old Darth. Kill Artist 1. The Dreamweaver. Game Cat. Kill a Cell, baby. In the house tonight. Prentice Summer Scales. Secrets of, I think I already got you. Hooked Worm, the Hoosier Game Cat. What up, man? Says, I only feel comfortable in backflipping. Yeah. Lone Wolf VR. The devs already posted patches are coming. Hope so soon. Won't buy until fixed. Yeah, man. Beard of Power 666. Melozdo, hello. You guys have a wonderful night. Jet Kiefer, Dragon 32Z. I'll see you guys again very soon.